Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Chewsday Special Podcast. I have an awesome guest with me today. It is the one and only Blake Haigler. He is an IT guru, owns Haigler Systems. Find him at haiglersystems.com. He'll tell you how to spell it in the podcast. Hope you enjoy it. I plan on talking about a bunch of IT stuff, but we just bullshitted the entire time, and it was so much fun. And you get cameos from Cy and my beautiful baby mama, Katie. So hope you have fun. This is a very fun podcast, and I'm so glad Blake came down to join me. So without further ado, the one and only, I call him IT Guru because he's so smart with all this shit, Blake Haigler. Hope you enjoy. No, the sad thing is all my friends are going to watch this, and I'm drinking Miller High Life, which is like you said, like water.
If Miller High Life is listening, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, well, you have to. Let me see. Is there calories on here? No.
1903. Champagne
Made in
and beers.
1903. Because this was water in 1903.
You know what they say about champagne?
What? Blake, you have to talk into the mic.
Oh, you know what they say about champagne?
There you go. You sound amazing now.
Thank you.
What do they say?
I have no clue. I thought you did.
It's Miller Lite or Miller High Life.
It's champagne and beers.
All right, let me give the backstory. Before I jump in, if you saw the intro, I'm sitting here with Blake Haigler. Blake has been one of my good friends for, 20 years.
Wow. We're old.
We are. We're not going to talk about that. But eventually we'll get to where we have the Cane Punch crew back in town, Joel and Nick. What I have all over me. And they were supposed to be here, and this is their beer choice, and this was what we used to drink when we did the Cane Punch podcast. So I bought a 12-pack, and they
Slackers.
couldn't
Don't tell
come
them I said
because
that.
they have like 10 kids between the two of them, and they didn't want to take a risk, which I respect that. I don't mind. They want to do Zoom, but with the announcement that we make, I want to at least announce it in person with all of them. And this is my first 3-camera shoot.
Yeah, I don't think the other one caught me, but
That one definitely didn't catch me. But yeah, so this is Blake. This is the Chewsday special basement. Welcome.
are we in a basement?
We're in a basement. I know you thought it was a studio, but it's a basement. It's definitely a basement. The Blake is like an IT guru. He travels the nation, the world yet, or just the nation?
Just Nason.
Just the nation.
Yeah.
Speaking on IT issues. IT.
We got a book.
Yeah.
Co-author a book.
Yeah, he co-authored a book. Co-authored a book, and
Should have brought it with me. I didn't.
this, even though we are drinking water, fact, I haven't drank beer. I maybe drank 2 beers in the last 2 years. So this might go off the rails.
That'd be good.
We have a whole 12-pack in there, and you live close by.
I do.
You can Uber home.
I do.
But yeah, so Blake's
I have
going
a
to
wife
join
that
me.
can pick me up.
Yes, you do. Fair enough. But yeah, so the way we do is we just talk and shoot the shit and have fun. You down with that?
Yeah. Let's fire away.
Awesome. Cheers for this.
Cheers.
This was. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. This is the champagne of beer. In 1903, this might have been water.
In 1903, this might have been the high end of everything.
Like, I feel like if there's one advantage into going back in time, it's seeing what the beer that we like now tastes like in 1903.
1903. So that gives them 100 and how many years? 100 and
117.
almost 120. Yeah, almost 120.
117.
117.
Depends on what month of 1903. If there was months in 1903.
Math is my strong point, everybody.
Yes. It's not mine. I can't believe I got that right. If I am right. Fact check. Leave a comment. But yeah, so we're drinking High Life. Listen, we drink brew beers. We are craft heads, if that's what they call them. We drink craft beers. Mm-hmm. We have for a long time. So I don't want to hear anybody bitch about us drinking Miller High Life. And no, they did not sponsor. That's why all the bottles are turned inward. But I don't know. I don't know if you can show them or not. But yeah. So, like we said, Blake's got his own company. How long have you?
15
Drink
plus
another
years, maybe.
sip. You had your company for 15 years?
Yeah. Well, I had it when I was in college, but we just didn't have everything up and running. And I had it when I used to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
Had it.
Yeah,
But
it
was side stuff.
base. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I still do.
So,
I was doing that too, and I work with you, and I still do it. Just side stuff all the time. You have bigger balls than I do because you're the one that took the leap. It was like, you know what? I'm not going to work for anybody else. I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy a bunch of vending machines.
Yeah.
And
that did happen. That there's actually a.
I want to hear all the juicy details about the vending machines because I'd be like, hey man, what you got going on this weekend? Man, I got to go pick up these vending machines, get all the coins out of them. That's
right. And there was a good story behind those vending machines.
Oh, well, let me get comfortable.
It's a very Christian-like story.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how the viewers.
It's so suitable for this podcast.
Yes. So I'll tell you the story. If I get teary-eyed, don't think nothing of it.
Oh, dude, I'm going to use that clip on social media. Something I've been trying to do. So give me something good. I'm just gonna
all right,
pull this down right here.
I'll tell you. We were. I was working in a location, and person I was working on the network equipment at the time.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Blake, our vending machine guy, we're just not having any luck. He can't keep it filled, and we maintain their network, some of the other stuff. And she said, why don't you put some vending machines in here and take over? Well, I talked to the owner, and I told her, I said I don't have any knowledge or anything about vending at all. I'm computer based. I'm IT based. I don't know anything about it. That's better left to the vending pros. Mm-hmm. And then talk to the owner, let him know, hey, she said something about it, but I'm not. It's not my gig. And he didn't care. He was like, I don't care. Do whatever you want. Well, she came back and said something again when I was working on some of the equipment a few days later. Told her the same thing. Came back 3 weeks later, maybe. I was working on some more equipment. She comes up, and I knew what she was going to say. She said it again. Bright idea popped in my head, and I said, I tell you what, if 2 vending machines come through that door, I'll do your vending. Knowing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't say that exactly. I said if God sends 2 vending machines through that door,
yeah,
I'll do your vending. And not knowing that I doomed myself, or blessed myself. I don't know whichever way.
Snapped your fingers and 2 vending machines come flying through a door.
So about 2 or 3 days went by. She calls me up on my cell and she says, Blake, you'll never know what just happened. Oh. I was like, what?
Hold on. What hit you whenever you got that phone call?
Oh, they need help with network stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know,
okay. So
regular
you were thinking,
call.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, what happened? She said, a guy just came in here wanting to sell 2 vending machines. So
that's awesome. You think she made the phone call?
I think she looked for him.
Yeah.
I really did. She started searching for him. She finally found him on that 3rd day. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, give me the nut guy's number. I'll call him. So I called him up. I started talking to him about the story and everything. Mm-hmm. She didn't. It just so happened he went out of business or whatever. He had 2 vending machines to sell.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Craziest thing I hit in a long time.
Yeah.
So he was just going store to store.
Uh-huh.
And so happened he hit the store that I made a godly promise to.
When you promise to God, you have to follow through on that promise.
Yeah, and so I asked him how much he wanted for it. The bad thing was it was everything in my savings. And Brittany and I were dating at the time. Yeah. Brittany and I were dating at the time. Mm-hmm. And I told her about it. I was like, look,
one of these cameras would cost me everything in my savings. Student loans. Student loans.
The harsh stuff that's hard to talk about.
Yeah.
So the story just got deeper. I talked to Brittany, and she was like, "Well, what are you going to do?"
So you pulled out your entire savings.
I did what everything I had in the savings to
Wow. I didn't know all
to
this.
buy this for this
First
guy.
time we've ever, for the record, it's the first time we've ever talked about this.
Yeah, I think so.
I just used to give them shit about having vending machines, not knowing the backstory. Now I feel kind of bad, but not really.
Not too many people know it. I mean, I guess everybody's going to know it now.
The millions of people that listen to this podcast.
Yeah. So the guy, I talked to the guy, and I felt obligated at that point, or I'm going to get struck by lightning.
Yeah.
So I went and got him, and I remember the date. It was the day before Christmas. It was Christmas Eve, and the reason I remember this date is because now we didn't have any equipment to move vending machines. If you don't know anything about vending machines, those things are heavy. I'm talking about.
I've never moved one, but I imagine they are.
So we don't have any equipment. We just pull up in a trailer, gate trailer.
Yeah.
And we're dragging these things on. I asked
up.
I asked a buddy to help me, and I gave him the money, and he stood there for a second, just quiet. And I was thinking he was gonna be like, "Man, this ain't enough," or something,
Yeah.
But I remember the date. It was Christmas Eve. His tears started rolling down his eyes, and he said, "Man, you do not know what this means to me. I have 2 little girls." See, I'm about to happen.
Oh,
I have 2 little girls. I'm going to Walmart to take this money and make Christmas for them right now.
that's amazing.
And, man, it just hit me.
It's worth it.
So,
even if that falls through, it's worth it.
Yeah. So I got the vending machines, and it was a few weeks before the other guy moved his out. I moved mine in. Didn't know anything about it.
Yeah. Just had a key.
yeah, that was it. And these things have computers in them. I don't know if people know that. They got boards in them that you have to program.
I know that because the establishment that I work at now always has issues with their vending machines. It's the only reason I know that.
Yeah, so I had no clue. I'm trying to read this piece of paper that's in Chinese, and I just see numbers, so I'm just poking at it, trying to program it. And you program it with the front buttons too.
It's like an IKEA.
Like an IKEA without the manual
dresser.
Then you finally get it going. You think it's right, and it just giving free drinks out.
Yeah.
But I got that set up, and a guy that owned a few other stores came into this store. I got a phone call from him.
Was it like a
chain?
Well, was the store like a gas station?
It's like no, it's just like a service store.
Oh, okay.
Like
like a service
Kinko's
station?
or
okay, I got you. Okay.
So the a guy that owned several other ones came in and is asking the owner, "Hey, who does your vending? Mm-hmm. We can't find vending, or had poor service." So he gave him my number. Well, I talked to the guy, and he said he needed them in all these stores. And I kind of thought about it for a little while. I said, "Well, I don't have any money."
Yeah,
I was young.
I still don't have any money.
So I told him, as I build up, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Well, the turnaround on that was quick. So I got some more
cost profit.
Yeah, cost profit.
Really?
I mean, it was amazing. So I put another machines out in another store and another store and another store, and it really turned in from being a God's going to strike me dead if I don't do this, to a blessing. And I'm still glad that guy.
You take the leap of faith, man.
Man, I don't know.
That's what it's all about.
The bad thing was, it wasn't even the leap of faith. I was just more of not wanting to get struck by lightning.
Yeah. Making that promise to the good man upstairs.
That's right. And it was it was a difficult choice because I wanted to go back on it because it was everything I had in savings. Yeah. But I knew I couldn't. And it turned out good. Good.
That's what, anytime I ever watch a motivational speaker on social media,
water.
They talk about, like, you just gotta follow your gut. Like, money is money. And I'm a firm believer that you do need to save, but if you work and you have your plans, like, money will return back.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And
so it's not like that's one thing that I have to I continuously fight with is if not necessarily like taking the leap, because like I tell everybody, I've had the same job for 16 years. And if I had to find a job tomorrow, I wouldn't have no idea what to do. And I send out resumes every once in a while for design jobs, but I've always been afraid that if I do the design stuff full time, that I'll get so burned out so quick. And then I've always been afraid that, like, I went on an interview with a very, very established company in Charlotte right after I got out of art school. And went and, like, I don't even know if I've ever told this story. I remember taking my portfolio. I had no idea what I was doing. Taking my portfolio is with Center City Partners. So it's the people that do all the downtown stuff, like Restaurant Week, Speed Week, with all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember riding the elevator up to like the 32nd floor and getting off and walking to like glass doors and walk in with the waterfall. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I mean, I was 26, 27, 26, 25, 26, somewhere in there. And like they take me into the boardroom, and legitimately the boardroom has all glass windows, and you can see inside Bank of America Stadium. Like sit in the boardroom and drink beer and just watch the game from. And I was like, man. And I went through the interview, and I ended up not getting the job because there was one guy ahead of me that had like 3 years experience, like of working, and I was coming straight out of art school, and which I understand. But I found out that they were going to pay me like $3,000 more than I made at the hospital, and I was like, that's not worth it. Like it's much more worth doing it part time, like on the side, and making my money there than going and having somebody who probably has no clue what they're talking about telling me this is what I want. You need to change this color to this, and it just drives me crazy.
Well, the enjoyment too.
Yeah,
people really make the difference. And I've always thought people made the difference. Whether, and I say that even on the programming side, design side. So if you think you're going to get burned out, I mean, yeah, $3,000.
I'm burned out now. Like this is my fun. Like the podcast and doing I've loved wrestling forever. And this whole break is like saving me from just leaving wrestling because I'm so burned out. But the crazy thing, and I've talked about this on the podcast before, like they say you have to do something for 15 years before you find real success in it. Have you ever heard that saying? Like when you do something for 15 years.
I think this year was first year we made money at the IT business, by the way.
Oh, really? And this is your 15th, 16th year?
Yeah.
But it's like if you listen to Rogan always says when you do 10,000 hours on stage, that's when or 10 years or something, like consistently, 10,000 hours on stage as a stand-up, that's when you
reach
got some kind of
level.
understanding, and you should be able to be like a headliner or something if you're good. And I always struggle with, every time I've been burnt out by wrestling. It goes through stages just because you're doing it on top of a full-time job. That's the big thing. If you did it for a living, I'd love it. But when I wanted to leave was when I went to NXT and talked to Triple H, and when I started doing New Japan stuff. It's I can't leave. I've spent 15 years of my life building a resume that's getting me these opportunities, and if I leave now, it's what did you do?
Yeah.
Why? So it's you're almost stuck. But
that's how I feel in a lot of ways, because the thought of the IT is so pinpoint.
Yeah, it's it's so you can't make mistakes.
That's right, and under for my company, for the IT company. I used to know a lot about computers, a lot about servers, and I still do, but I've been out of the game. I've been more in operations, more of business
you hire
management.
people, or you
That's
got
right.
people that know what they're doing.
That's right, and so, in a way, I'm stuck. If I was to try to go get a job now, it would be
has to be a management job.
It definitely would have to be a management job. Because nobody wants me working on their computers.
Yeah.
They might want my team working on them. They do want my team working on them. But me personally, there they want me running that business, making
Yeah.
sure my team is doing what they're supposed to be
Yeah.
doing.
That's a hard thing to step into. Is like, are you a control freak? Like I am.
I don't like to micromanage, but I do like to control. I like to control the outcome,
Yeah.
and sometimes that's not always the case. But I am very OCD.
Yeah. Yeah. Like what I struggle with is, I know, like we'll use wrestling because a lot of my fans are wrestling people. I work with 4 people to create, book, create storylines, book talent, set up shows. I do most of the design work for it. But then you step into the realm of a show, like the day of a show, and you hand all that to someone else. And if they screw it up, like, what did you work on all that stuff?
I see. Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So that's why, like, I have to have my hands in everything. But that's what burns me out, is that I have to have my hands in everything, because I used to be, when I owned my own company, like, if I handed somebody flyers and said, you can move it, you can just these.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't even move, Blake.
It went up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like, if I hand somebody flyers, I have no idea if those flyers went out, and that would bother me
Yeah.
forever. And I can't get over that hump. Now, I've last year with the wrestling company, I made it a point to delegate, to work on my delegation, find people that are good at what they do, find people that have learned from me, and then show them how to do it, and then they can do it, if not as good as me, but sometimes better than me. And that's what I've done.
And that's hard to do too. Is the trusting part where you pass something off.
Yeah, it's not a personal thing. It's just like you feel like
you just want it done right.
Yeah,
And
I feel like if I don't, and I've seen this with the wrestling company, is if I don't do something, then it falls. Like, we're here, and I step away because I'm going to go do this management stuff. Like, this side falls.
Well, you have plans too, right? You have a clear vision of what you're wanting it to do, and then you're passing it to somebody that has a partial vision.
Yeah.
So they're taking it thinking that, okay, this is what I got to do, but in reality, what you would have done would have been 10 times more than what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that makes it really difficult too on
Such a shitty
side.
dichotomy. Such a shitty dichotomy. Oh, I hate it.
But yes, it's
like, how did you transition from, because when you first started, it was just you, or was it you, brother?
just me.
Just you? Mm-hmm. And you just did everything.
Yeah.
Like,
I
someone
did everything.
would call and say, we need something. You'd say, I'll be there at 2:00 tomorrow.
Yeah.
You show up in your little Prius.
That's right. I've had that Prius I still have that Prius.
Do you? I thought you wrecked it.
It's like, no, that was a Yaris.
Oh,
I
okay.
bought a little used Yaris. I thought it was really fun and stuff. So
and then it got you.
it got me. Yeah, had too much fun with it. Yes, that was a sad day.
Dude, listen, we've all been wrecked. I
That was my first wreck, by the way.
I was about to say, I cannot throw stones at you for having a wreck by any means.
Yeah. It was all me. It was. The first time that it really hit me was when I let somebody else in the driver's seat to drive away. That's really when it hit me, because all those things went through my head as the owner and everything. What if this person gets in a wreck? What if they have questions?
Yeah.
If they can't do something? What if they need emergency
screw
services?
up and you get the phone call?
That's right.
That's
what if they screw up?
I hate. Oh, if I get a phone call and have to deal with the issue that I have no hand in.
We've learned pretty well how to handle things like that, though, and usually it's usually we identify the problem first with the customer, and sometimes it's not even a problem. Sometimes it's just the customers wanting to talk. Yeah, they just want to vent, and so you let them vent, and they're happy.
Yeah.
They're happy that the mistake happened, that they vented.
Yeah,
and
usually when, like, what people don't get, if anybody that owns a company or works with another company, if a mistake happens, 95% of the time you come out better than before the mistake happened, because it makes you more aware. It shows you something where
That's
something
right.
could have went wrong, and it's been fixed before something really went wrong.
And you're able to fix that process too.
Yeah.
And mistakes are going to happen. It's just
Nobody's
part of
perfect.
business. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. If mistakes aren't happening, I'd be concerned. Because that means something really bad's going on.
That means nobody's paying attention.
I don't know. That might be the perfect
Yeah.
scenario.
It's called gambling.
Uh,
I don't know about that.
I got a story about gambling. So
Oh,
I'm not a
let's jump.
gambler. Well, I own my own business,
not
so
either.
that's a gambler.
Oh, well, yeah. But how many casinos have you been in?
One, and it was a boat
Where at?
casino, Royal Caribbean or
Oh,
Royal
like-
Cruise,
like cruise?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my wife and I went, and I don't know. I don't remember if we were married at the time or not.
How many cruises have you been on?
3, I think.
No. You got
Maybe.
engaged on a cruise, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a lot of. I'll tell you that story too. That was a really
Dude,
good story.
I'm down for some stories. They hear my stories all the time, so we need somebody to.
That was a
provide
really
better
good.
stories. I remember when that happened.
Yeah, a lot of people hated me because they were like, they said they hated me because of how I proposed, and I made them look bad because they didn't propose that way. But I'll tell you that. As a joke, they're
All
wives.
the people that were on the cruise.
No,
with you.
Our guys, our
Oh,
friends,
gotcha.
yeah.
Step
Coming
up
back
your
like,
game,
hey.
asshole.
Yeah, that's right. So I went on. Brittany knew how to gamble. I don't know how, but she was in there.
Brittany knows how to do shit.
Yeah.
That like just like Blake. Brittany's been my friend since I moved.
I think you and her were friends before we
Yeah. Me and you were friends and became friends like
high school,
junior,
yeah,
like sophomore, junior year. Actually, it might have been freshman year because I was in ROTC freshman year.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And we knew each other. We didn't become good friends until we worked together.
Yeah.
But we went to. Did we go to middle school together?
We did. We went to middle
and
school
high
together.
School. But Brittany was Brett was my first friend ever when I moved here in 3rd grade. And
Brittany and Brett were
really
side
good
by
friends.
side all
Yeah,
the
because
time.
we all lived in the same area.
Yep.
And Brittany is Blake's wife. And I know I'm getting way off the point, but Brittany, you'll say I'm gonna try to shoot a leopard with a crossbow. And Brittany would be like, "Oh, let me show you how to do it." You're like, "What?" Yeah, I know how to do that. I watched the video on YouTube, and just does it like that. That's all you got to do. And you're just like,
It
what?
reloads it and everything.
What the hell is going on? What are you doing? All right, just to set the stage for Brittany. All right, so carry on. So you're at the casino. Brittany knows how to gamble.
Yeah. So I didn't know where she went actually. I woke up for a nap or something. I was searching for her, and she was at the casino.
Of course.
And
With your vending money.
I don't remember. We did set a limit though of how much we would gamble, and
Smart.
and I took $100, put it on a card or something, and I told her, I asked her what she was doing. She was doing slots or something. So that's what I decided to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand
I'm
beside.
going to do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. My wife's beside me.
It's
got to be luck, right?
I've never gambled. I've been in 4 casinos. Never gambled. Is it like drugs? Is when you when you're about to do it, you stop and you say, "This is me." I don't know if everybody else does this. Obviously, some people don't. And I say,
It wasn't for me.
if this is too fun, I might get addicted.
I know some people do. I know some people have that mentality or the difficulty to pull away. But let me finish.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
And you'll see where I do not have that mentality.
Okay.
I put about $100 on a card, thinking that it's going to last all day. It might even last all week for the rest of the cruise. So I'm standing beside my wife. Got luck, I got my wife beside me. It's gonna be luck. I pull that thing down. They roll. I'm like, yeah. Didn't do nothing. I pull it down. It's not doing anything. So I tap my wife. I'm like, hey, I think this thing's busted. What's going on here? She looks over. She says, you're out of money. I pulled one time.
$100?
$100. I had no clue.
It cost $100 to pull one time.
I was done.
Oh my God.
I didn't do anything, any gambling after that.
I can't unless like, I don't know.
I like to gamble on things that I can control the outcome, like my business.
Yes. Oh, that makes me sick to my
that little pull the
stomach.
reel and gone. And she didn't care. She was like, "No, I'm doing good. We're on this." Yeah. I'm like, good luck. I'm going to the pool.
What? I've never been on a cruise.
Never?
Nope.
Oh man, you got to go. You got to go.
I'm so
once.
scared. I'm scared I'm gonna get out there, like say 4-day cruise. First day I'll get out there and I try to go to sleep and I get seasick and I'm dead for the rest of the time.
Yeah, just don't get seasick. You'll be good.
I don't know if I am or not.
Yeah, just don't.
I don't know. Like I don't. That's the thing is I don't know. I have no idea. And it's like
I didn't.
Did you think about that or no? You was just like, well, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was like. Well, screw it, let's go.
There's gonna be a bunch of half-naked people on a big ship. Is it really like a town?
No, it's like a town. Yeah, you walk through. You got a Starbucks. So the main floor, it really was like a little shopping center, whatever, on the main floor. We didn't really stay on the main. We didn't go on the main floor very much. Maybe to get a coffee, just look around, see the people shopping. You know, just to see the amazement of it being a mall in the middle of a ship, and
a mall in the middle of the Titanic.
Yeah, it really. And the funny thing is, it's not just one floor. You know, they section out about 3 or 4 floors, so you have that mall experience. You know how they have the high ceilings and everything.
It's crazy.
And they always do events right there where they shave the ice or whatever, or they'll shave the ice near the pool and then they'll bring it down for display in that little section. But Royal,
they have a topless deck.
You know, people say they do. I've never seen it. I don't think. I think that's just a myth, or I've been on the wrong ones.
I feel like if there's a topless deck, there's either going to be nasty women or fat old perverts just standing around. Like I would too. I'd have to experience it.
I guess I'd be the fat old pervert.
I'd go out there with balls out just to be on the deck. Not now. I'd have to have like at least a 3 month head time.
Oh, speaking of, I started working out again.
Oh, did you?
I did. So
I'm starting because I'm right now the heaviest I've ever been in my entire life.
So I was, I started working out. I was working out for about 3 months until all this COVID-19 thing busted loose.
We do 100 push-ups every morning, 100 sit-ups, then run the elliptical. I got elliptical behind this curtain behind me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See,
I hate it.
I would run every day.
I hate it. I did it for the first time yesterday. Day. This is just me being open and honest with everybody. Like, I haven't worked out since Garrison was born. And he's about 19, 20 months now. And I've gotten so fat, like fatter than I've ever been before. And I like to think, like I was going to the gym.
Part about being a dad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I can say that in my head, but when I walk out or when I shoot these things, I'm like, ooh. Ooh. But, so I've been, like, usually when I go to the gym, I'll do elliptical for like 15 minutes, get my heart rate up, then I'll go work out. That's the most, it's acceptable to me to do that much cardio every time. So 15 minutes every day I go to the gym, which is usually 4 or 5 days a week when I take it seriously and I'm working out. And I was doing that for like a month before all this, like you said, like the COVID stuff started. And I had every intention in the world yesterday to run on that elliptical for 45 minutes to an hour because I need to get back in shape. And 20 minutes in, I was like, this podcast ain't doing shit for me. It's actually an audiobook. This audiobook is not doing shit for me. I'm sitting here staring at Godzilla the lizard and the TV and listening to everybody walking around upstairs. And I'm like, what am I doing? And then like that, like I'm the way my body works is after about 10 minutes, I feel like I want to die. And then once I get past that dying stage, I can go forever. And I just gave up at like 15, 20 minutes.
So
I was like, I can't.
You're kind of like me. That's exactly how I start my workouts. I run first, and then I do.
You get your heart rate up.
Yep.
Like my goal is get your heart rate up, and then try to keep your heart rate up the entire time.
See, but I instead of timing, I'd always do a mile. I made sure to run a mile.
Well, yeah, that's usually it's about a mile and a half whenever I finish. Because I usually, like, on an elliptical, I can't run on a treadmill because my knees suck too bad.
So, I mean, you run longer than I do. And I would, I will say.
I might run slower than you do.
I guess so. Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I maintain.
I only got a time, so
I maintain between 7 and 8 speed on an elliptical. I don't know how fast that is.
I don't.
But
know
that keeps me at a consistent like jog for probably about 15 minutes.
The pain part though, I hurt for the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it was consistent hurt. Like I knew I was going to get on this treadmill, and I was going to run for a mile, and I was just going to hurt. Mm-hmm. One day it just stopped.
Went away?
Yeah, it just went away. It was weird because
in shape.
I just kept on running, and the numbers were changing really fast in my mind. And I was looking down at the numbers, and they were changing. I'm like, man, this time's going by really fast.
That's what happens when you're on steroids.
I guess so.
No, seriously, like you'll run, and you'll get done. Like you'll run for like 45 minutes, and when you get done, you're like, I could go another 45 minutes. It's insane.
Well, after that initial pain of the 3 weeks, my body just.
Where are you working out at?
The Y.
Oh,
YMCA.
Gotcha. Y's got good stuff.
The beginning of the year they were packed, but
in Kannapolis or China Grove.
Nope. Over there at Afton Village.
Oh, the nice one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they don't have an indoor track. So
they
my
don't?
original thought was to run indoors.
You want to actually run.
Yeah, I want to.
See, I've thought about trying to go. We need to start a run club.
Now I can't anymore. I hurt my knee.
Oh,
I don't know how I hurt it, but
dude, welcome to my life. I will walk.
It's called getting old.
I will walk and decide I want to go to the right a little bit and try to make a turn, and my knee feels like it's going to fall off.
Yeah, I wanted that flag football thing for old people.
Yeah,
I want to do that, but I'm afraid that my head will fall off.
Yeah, no.
My arm will break. My ankle will twist.
Were you a part of when we both worked at the hospital that softball tournament?
Mm-hmm. You remember that? Yeah. I was ready to go.
So me and Blake worked at a hospital together, and they were opening a pediatric wing, which is still there, and it's called the Jeff Gordon's Pediatric Center or something like that. And to honor this, they did a charity softball tournament, and me and Blake were like, we need a team. I remember now. Yeah, okay.
So we got shirts.
We need a team. We're going to get shirts. We're going to do whatever, blah, blah. Like, you could have 3 people on your team that didn't work for the hospital.
Will Kraft was on the team.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had, like...
That was back in the day.
10 people that didn't work for the hospital because a bunch of people canceled. But the funny thing is we were like, okay, we'll pay whatever. We'll go play 2 games, and then we'll be done. And because it's double elimination, we'll lose 2 games. We'll have fun. We'll see everybody. We'll go drink. Dude, we made it to the semifinals of this tournament.
Yeah, it just kept going.
Oh, because you tore the doctor's knee up.
That wasn't on purpose. He was in my way when I was running.
All right,
just so everybody knows,
yeah.
It was not my fault. That doctor does not know how to play softball.
Oh, I remember it so vividly now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people care about this, but it's so funny. Blake was rounding third, coming home. A doctor, because we were playing the doctor's team, and we were winning
every person on there was a doctor. Yeah,
yeah, and we were trying to just give them we would purposely miss balls, like ground balls, so they would get on base to make them feel a little bit better because they're doctors and we work at a hospital. And Blake rounds thirds, coming home, throw at the plate.
He's standing. He's
blocking
the way
the plate.
Of the plate. Yeah,
he's blocking the plate. I'll give you that. Well, Blake just slides and takes him out, and ends up tearing the guy's ACL.
That was not the intent. The intent, how he was standing, I was hoping to slide between his legs,
but it didn't happen.
It did not happen. I think he actually turned sideways right at the end, and it took him all the way out. He just landed right on me and everything. It was bad.
Yeah, we had to call EMTs. They took him. They took him out, and Yeah, and that's what we were known for. Then we had Lisa, who was one of our supervisors, like 95-year-old husband there, who's a baseball like fanatic, or was a baseball fanatic, and he was trying to coach us, but he's never played baseball. He just watched it his entire life. Oh my God!
And there was a pro player there that worked for the hospital too. That he was he did the
home run derby.
Yeah. And no, I mean he was just hitting them all,
murdering them.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but I was surprised, and he worked on one of the floors. But yeah, that was crazy. And right there at the end, I think half of our team, because we continued to
had
win.
To leave.
We had to leave.
We had to pick up other players
because we weren't expecting to even stay that long. We were like, Dude, 2 games, we'll be out.
I was sore for a week after that. That was like 10 years ago, 10 or 11 years ago.
Yeah, try it now.
No,
I'll be the doctor.
No.
I'll be the doctor that's calling EMS.
We played a.
I'm not a doctor,
football.
by the way.
We played a flag football tournament it was me, Matt Crosby, Chad, Matt's friend, and I want to say like Mike Clemency. Joel wasn't here, so he didn't play, and a few other people. And like Matt tore his ACL. And like it was like we're too old.
We are. And
have you ever done a mud run?
Yes. Yeah. And
did you do the mud run in China Grove?
No.
Oh, dude, they taught me into doing that. That's the story. I need to get like Kevin. So there was 4 people, including me. So it was me, it was Matt, it was Brett, who was Matt's brother. Was it Brett? Was it Chad? Maybe Chad. And a guy named Kevin, who is Matt's brother's wife's brother, if you follow that.
Brother's wife's.
So it's his brother's brother-in-law. And Kevin runs marathons and like Spartan races. Kevin was like legitimately wanting to fight me after the mud run because I was so shitty.
It was a
I'll never do another one.
I can't remember what it was, but it was something named like that. It was
like
Warrior. The Warrior Run.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, Brittany signed us up. You know,
of course.
Brittany.
Of course.
And I thought it was great. And she was like, "Aren't you going to train?" I'm like, "Babe,
dude,
come
that's
on.
me. That's me.
Rub this shoulder.
I'm gonna run. Never run.
Yeah, I never ran. And I didn't work out for a long time.
Yeah.
And Brittany was like, "You need to go."
You've always had that skinny build, so you can get away with not working out.
Sometimes. Your lungs don't keep the same capacity.
No, that's true. That's true.
So she kept trying to coach me through months and months. Like, you need to go run. I'm like, I'll be fine. So we go to run, and I'm trying to keep up. I am dying.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was gonna die, and that brought me to reality that I'm old and I'm out of shape.
Yes. Yes. I went like after I got divorced, and I was talking to a few people. I was talking to this girl who was a runner, and she the ultimate thing I could do to impress her was to do something that she likes that I don't really give a shit. I don't like at all. So one day I showed up down in Valentine, and I was like, I'm gonna run with you, and she's like, oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet, dude. I ran it was 2 miles, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for somebody who that never runs and has never had the endurance to run and could barely carry a mile. Like when I got, it was a park. I don't even know where it was. It was a Valentine area, but we ran and about half a mile. I was like, I'm in trouble because the way it works is you run all the way down and then you come back. So 2 things you need to know about me is when I run, if I stop and start walking, I'm not going to start running and continue running. I have to do it in spurts. So I'll run till I feel like I can't run anymore, or I'm about to fall on my face, and then I'll walk, but then I'll run periodically to just make up. So we get to right where the mile is. I was like, listen, I got to walk. She's like, that's fine. I'll come back and get you. Okay.
Throw you on my shoulders.
Yeah, she takes off, and I'm just walking. Got my shirt off. I was insanely in shape, and probably the best shape of my entire life. And I just don't have endurance to run. I can't do it.
Just didn't have the cardio.
I don't. I've never had endurance to run. And so I walk for a minute, then I run, and then I stop running because it's periodic. And as soon as I start running, she runs back. She's like, "You ready to go?" I was like, "I just got done running." Like, what are you doing? So she's like, "Okay, I'll come back and get you." So she goes back, and then she comes back, and the same thing happens. She goes back, comes back. She comes in. She's like, "You ready to run?" I'm like, "I just got done running. What are you like? Are you timing this out?" Oh God.
Oh,
But
that's from our audience.
Is that a note for me? Yeah. Oh. Okay, I'll get it. Hey, you can hand it to me. Is that the note or is the note over here? That's the note. Yes. The what? Yeah, come get it. Hurry. Just don't. Hey, please don't knock over anything. This is my production assistant. But so she like comes back, goes back, and then comes back, and I finally just run with her to finish it out. So I was like, that's so embarrassing. Let's go get something to eat. So we go get something to eat. And I look on her social media later that day, and she posts something like, "This is what happens when you run with people that don't run." And she posted a screenshot of her Nike app. And it's like, it was like run down, run back, run back, run back, run back. and she ended up running 5 miles in this 2 mile section. I was like, I'm never running again. Luckily, my beautiful baby mama doesn't like to run either. Oh,
Well,
it's insane.
When you get older, you don't want to run.
No, I didn't want to run when I was younger.
Yeah, I do enjoy it, a part of it, but I don't. The part that that's a little aggravating is that it does hurt.
Yes,
you hurt, you're tired.
Like those people, like that run 13 miles a day.
Oh gosh, I can't.
I'm not gonna say 30. Even if you run 5 miles a day, like what are you thinking? Like, do you have the unique ability to escape your body? And
I think you just get the runner's high.
If she's got enough. Like, do you have the ability to like escape your body and
just let it go?
And just just go into a trance and just run. Because I can't do that. The second my foot hits the pavement the first time, I'm like, I don't want to do this.
I'll tell you how I am. After that first 3 weeks, the 3 weeks I didn't want to do it, but I forced myself to. And then when my body just changed, it didn't matter. But
how are you running?
Ran.
Were you running like on a treadmill? Or were you running on a elliptical? Okay,
treadmill. So
now, do you have music?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I always listen to music.
The worst thing that can ever happen is going to the gym and not having your headphones.
That actually happened to me.
Oh, that's so...
And you don't realize what people are doing or saying until you don't have headphones.
Yeah.
Because...
I could give a shit less what people are doing or saying.
Some of these people are singing. And some of them are humming, and some of them are talking, and you can't really understand what they're saying. But
outside of like having music when you work out, the best thing about headphones is nobody bothers you.
No, they don't.
But you always have the
because they always want to know, are you on this?
I do that all the time, so I'm that guy.
Well, and I try to look out for people because I do know some people do supersets where they want to work one muscle and then the other muscle and back to the other muscle.
Yeah.
Try to hit them both back and back.
Those people need to join real gyms. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
So I try to watch out for those guys, and when I first started, I was afraid that I'm stepping on somebody's toes, and this big burly guy's going to walk over and be like, "That's mine." You know, that doesn't happen though. It's usually everybody there is really
I always
nice.
do the and 90% of the time they're like, "No."
And the nice thing is, since I run beforehand and the gym is right there, while I'm running, I can look and see who's jumping on what and kind of make a plan of what I'm going to do.
That's my only issue with Planet Fitness. And I love Planet Fitness.
You can't see it.
I love Planet Fitness at all. I mean, I love everything about Planet Fitness. I will praise Planet Fitness from the fact that I don't have to deal with meatheads, to the fact that nobody judges you, to the fact that if you go at a good time and not at peak hours, you can pretty much get on anything you want to get on. But the problem is there is a thing called gym etiquette. And there are people that have no idea what gym etiquette is. And that drives me insane. If you see somebody, like if I want to get on a squat rack and I see somebody and I like while I'm doing, for instance, for example purposes, if I want to squat after I run, what I do is when I get to about 10 minutes and I know I got 5 minutes left, I watch people on the squat rack and say, okay, who's finishing up their sets? And I try to, okay, this person looks like they're going to get done around the same time I am, so I'll just try to work it around.
Yes.
So we get off, and timing will work out. Dude, I hate people that will walk up like you do something, like you do squats, you hook it up, get your water bottle, drink, and somebody come up and try to grab a weight and put it on. And you're like, no, I'm not done. Like, ask.
Yeah. Real quick story about the gym because you brought that up.
Yeah.
There was a guy that the machine, and it's not even a machine, it's just a padding to make sure you have good form on your biceps.
Yeah.
He was using it, which, I did some other workouts. I was watching him. I'm like, he's got to be done. This guy stayed on there for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the entire time.
Big?
Yeah, he was a big guy.
Yeah.
The entire time. And eventually, I just had to pass that one by. Mm-hmm. But it was, I don't know how you stay on one thing for an entire, my whole workout's an hour.
Yeah.
That's
me. Like I don't like to work out over an hour.
No.
It's usually 45 minutes. I spend 15 minutes running and then 45 minutes working out, and then I'm out.
Yeah.
I might lay, like, once again, shout out to Planet Fitness. I might lay in that little water jet massager thing they have.
They got a water jet massage?
Yeah. They have tanning beds too. I don't do that.
I know I'm white.
Yeah, I don't do that. You're probably more tan than I am. But they have like this water. You know the things they used to have at the mall that you pay and you lay in?
Yeah.
It isn't that like extravagant, but it's this little thing that you just lay on, and it's water jets, and it just goes up and down your body.
That's cool.
And it's I don't know if it helps, but it's a luxury. Mm-hmm. It's worth the extra $10 that I pay for my black card. But no, like I got to get back in shape. Because we're getting old, and I'm a firm believer as to what Rogan preaches is you have to take care of your body and your immune system because of shit like this going on right now. But also because I have to whoop somebody's ass whenever all this stuff comes back in the wrestling ring. And that's like that's the thing is I'm like, so I talked to Brian, the guy that owns the wrestling company, like every other day, and I'm like, so are we trying to come back in June or July? Because I really need to.
Oh, that's right. Because we
haven't been able to do anything.
It's really close contact, right?
It was supposed to be May 21st, I think, that I was wrestling the last match ever. I was going to beat the dog shit out of Corey Hollis in a street fight, but no, I haven't even done it yet.
See, I don't keep up with a lot of sports.
Yeah.
But I know they canceled. What all they cancel?
Everything.
You're a big sports guy, right?
Sometimes. Somewhat.
See,
they've canceled everything.
NFL?
Mm-hmm. NBA?
Oh, my gosh.
Major League Baseball? NASCAR? NASCAR's doing iRacing.
Oh, I heard about that.
Oh,
it's like
fun,
some
though.
virtual.
It's fun. Yeah, it's like
something.
They buy these rigs. So this is how my mind works. Ryan Jacobs, who's been on he hasn't been on the podcast. He was he still is one of my good friends, but he now has a kid, so we quickly fall into we used to give people shit about having kids, but now it's like,
now he knows.
This is why they could never do anything. But like when me and Ryan first became friends, like probably freshman year of college, sophomore, like he would play NASCAR and I would be like we'd stay up all night and play NASCAR on the computer. And it was Papyrus NASCAR Racing or something like that. You remember that?
I do, yeah.
And I'd be like his crew chief. I don't know what I'd do, but I'd just sit there and we'd drink and watch him racing because I wasn't good at it. But he had the steering wheel and the pedals and all that stuff. So now these people have like these big harnesses or big like stations that is like a car. So you sit in it and you got a driver's seat. It's got a big screen. You can either do like a rounded, like a, what's it called?
Curved
Like
monitor.
Curved monitor.
Yeah.
Or you can do like a big monitor and then 2 monitors right here. And it's like virtual. So you're driving and it's got a gear shift and gas and clutch and brake, and you're driving and you can see your out your front windshield and your 2 side mirrors.
So if you wreck, you don't die.
No.
So that's my type of driving.
And this is like what they do. And what's crazy about it is if I understand it correctly, because I've watched like I've never watched one live, but I watch highlights. Like because you can go on like YouTube and watch the highlights from the different tracks they do it. And
is it virtual? Like you actually see the cars going around the tracks?
What they do is they have piped in the NASCAR commentators that watch like the footage of these people racing and commentate it. And the
do they still have like a crew chief and everything?
they have like spotters.
Oh wow!
It is the most ridiculous thing ever if you really think about it, but it's so cool. It's so innovative. I think it's very innovative.
Yeah.
But then people like NASCAR drivers dropping N-bombs and getting fired during it. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, like Kyle Larson, who's a NASCAR driver. I don't keep on NASCAR, but he's like he dropped an N-bomb thinking nobody could hear him, and has gotten fired from everything. It's just like, dude, you're playing a video game.
I tell you, the virtual stuff in the world I think that's one of the biggest things that this COVID-19 thing has really changed, because we had so many people contact us to set up home offices after this started, where most people were having to go home and start working, and other people were losing their jobs.
Yeah,
we actually increased in our work orders. There were so many more people that
I didn't even think about that, because I remember asking Brittany, like, is Blake still working? She's like, oh yeah, he's busy.
Yeah, busy. We had so many orders for companies that said, hey, I want all my employees to be able to work from home.
Really?
And from going from
now, is that like
a
nightmare?
It's a big organizing issue.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is just being able to organize the schedule and work with the customers on what's the high priority. Who are your C-class members? Who are your operation managers?
Yeah.
Who do we need to hit first and push through?
Gotcha.
So when you have 20 companies call, and each company has anywhere from 10 to 50 employees, that's a lot of people at a short moment.
Think about companies that have like 300 employees.
And you think, when you're doing that, luckily it didn't all hit at one time. There were some companies that was just starting to call us the week prior to the lockdown and everything, and then next thing you know, we get more calls in when they quarantine everybody, because then there's other companies that are still in the teeter of, do we just wait it out, or do we go ahead and start doing the remote stuff? And so it wasn't like it was all at one time, but it was a lot at a consistent period.
Yeah. God.
Yeah, it was interesting, and now,
do you think that's the future? Is working from home?
I think it opened up a lot of companies' eyes of them being able to. I think there was a lot of companies, because for our company's designed to be able to work remote. We use the office because it's good for collaboration.
Yeah.
It's very easy to walk in somebody's office and say, hey, this, and this, what do you think?
It's a point of interest.
That's right.
That somebody can come and talk to somebody.
That's right. It's no longer a requirement. In reality, it's more of a it's like you said, an interest. Yeah. So communication skills with everybody can be handled. Oh,
game on! This is what happens when you come to the. I would say the Price household, but it's like the Price Kerr household.
Me? Oh my gosh, this happens to you every night?
Not every night, but the beauty.
I wish everybody could have seen her face.
Listen, one of the beauty. Hold on, stay down here for this. One of the beautiful things about Katie, besides her obvious beauty, is that she can cook like a beast. Take a bite of that pasta. Is it too hot? Is it super hot?
It's pretty warm.
I don't know. I haven't even tried it, so that may or may not be true.
Okay. We'll wait till we're off the podcast to try this. Oh, Blake's going to do it. Is it hot?
No, but that tasted really good. Like what did hit my lips.
What is it? What's in
very
it,
nice.
Katie?
Pasta.
Bread. You're the best. I love you.
She's still reading them off. So there's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, it's like a restaurant. My house is like a restaurant every night, and I still am fat. This is why I'm not really, because we're trying to eat healthy.
Well, you do live close. I can run over here, and that'll be my workout. Eat supper, and
What's gonna be funny is when you go home and Brittany's like, "What do you want to do for supper?" And you're like,
all right,
"Katie
gourmet."
Katie took care of me. but like back to what we were talking about. Like this podcast has gotten so interrupted 20 times. Like I feel like I remember me and Katie were talking about this the other day. Not like crazy that she walked down here. Is like I remember one of my friends talking to me about wanting to start a gym, and like I've had a few friends talk to me about wanting to start a gym, like a couple of wrestling guys, and then one of my friends, like local friends. And I said a lot of people are doing it now, but I said probably the best idea to start a gym is to do a virtual gym. Is to create a website where people can get membership, and then you give them workout plans, you give them dietary plans.
Oh man,
you give them you do video.
I'm one that bought into one of those apps on my phone.
Well, it's like there's a guy that used to wrestle, and I've met him once. His name's Gabe Tuft, T-U-F-T, I believe, and he owns a thing called Body Spartan. And he is like super successful. He lives out in California, and like I bought into that, and I love it. Like I follow them on social media. I paid for their program, and I think people that do it right, like DDP Yoga. Have you heard of DDP Yoga? Like DDP that used to be in WCW. He's got DDP Yoga now. It's like DDPY because they don't want to be just classified as yoga because he does a lot more. But like he started this yoga thing, and now like he sold a bunch of DVDs and. Now it's all online. Now it's on your phone. You can get it through your iWatch. It's crazy.
See, and that's what I like about the app is it tracks everything.
Well, if you think about that, it's from a business standpoint. If you can run a business and be successful and not have the cost of bringing all your employees to a building, of having this huge office, and everybody works from home, is it not more? I mean. The way I talk about it, the more I see there might be some difficulties there.
No,
but
if
you have people that can be successful working at home, like your cost to profit ratio is
your overhead changes, and that's what a lot of people. You have a lot of people that go to the office. I mean, what do they really need? You know, what do the people really do at an office now? Used to, they had to go to the office because they filled out papers and they passed it to the next person. That's a thing of the past. Now we're filling out papers online. We're taking care of things online. If you have to talk to anybody, Microsoft has these new Teams build outs. And so you're just jumping on there, texting people, chatting with them. Microsoft has a built-in voice over IP system within the Teams, so you can even call them right from your computer. So it's not like it used to be where somebody sits down, they're filling out some books. Now it's time for this other person to do their part, and the next person, manager looks over it and it passes through. That's a thing in the past. Now somebody's filling it out on the computer, they're hitting submit, and they're done.
And it's done. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I feel like
a workplace just gives you somewhere to go to make sure that you focus solely on your work.
Yes. It takes you out of the environment that you're currently in.
Unless you're in a service industry. If you're in the service industry, you're there to serve people that come in or take care of people.
That's right. If the only thing you need to physically be somewhere now is if you have to physically do something.
Yes.
And I've always said, because we've made a few apps and we were really bad. Yeah. We just recently started making a few more, and that is turning around good for us.
Is it hard
to make apps?
Yeah. Is it like website coding?
Yeah, a lot of it. It's
a different type of coding.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And
I've had so many people ask me about that. I'm like, I can design your stuff, but I have no idea how to put it together.
I'll tell you, it's after you. when you first start looking at it, you just go cross-eyed, and then after you look at it for a while,
It's like HTML and CSS and
well, you just got to
PHP
learn
and all that
it,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
and after you do it, it just starts happening.
Gotcha.
But one of the things that I've always said, and I continue to say it, even though I'm the person that's holding everybody back now, is our ancestors hold us back from not excelling, but from changing or
from like
furthering.
enhancing or
Right.
Yeah.
So, and what I mean by that, not in a bad way, because now I'm, in another 10 years, I'm going to be the ancestor that's holding everything back.
Well, you want
But
to
they
stick with what you're accustomed to and what you're comfortable with.
That's right. So when you say, okay, all these old people are used to seeing things on a form a specific way,
Yeah.
and you can't just put it on an app and expect them to know what to do.
Yeah.
Where a teenager, they look at it for the first time, they figure it out. They're like, oh, this is what you do. So we could recreate something completely, and it's a better way than what it was, but you can't do that because of how things used to be. How our ancestors know how they are, and I say our ancestors, but people that are continuously using those tools or those resources.
Yeah.
You can't if we automatically took the keyboard away from it's happening now, but think how long the tablet's been out and the computer's been out, where an older person would say, well, how do I type an email?
Oh yeah, don't take away my keyboard.
Yeah. So, but a younger person's like, you don't need a keyboard. They start touching the screen. So that's kind of where that saying that comes from, where our ancestors hold us back from
Creating.
From creating.
Yeah. That's interesting. So, to wrap everything up, because we have pasta here to eat and more beer to drink.
I'm very interested in this pasta.
Yeah.
I got like a small taste of it.
Yes. So we'll finish with talking about the book, because you co-authored a book, and
Hack Proof Your Business, Volume 2.
So how did this come about?
So we joined a company, coach. I hired a coach on. His name's Chris Weiser. And one of those things that he said that I should do is write a book. And I laughed at him because, I don't know if you've seen my English grades in high school.
Probably better than my math grades.
So I told him, and one of the things he said was, let's get you co-authored in a book and see if somebody's out there that wants to let you co-author in a book. And obviously you have to have certain requirements.
Yeah.
You have to know. You have to be able to prove that you know certain things, or
Like you have credentials.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I said sure, and they came back with a few co-authors. I was one of them. Luckily, they accepted me to co-author in a book, and I wrote about social engineering. For anybody that doesn't know about social engineering, it's basically the part of just extracting information from somebody by talking to them. And
like FBI stuff?
yeah, the FBI.
Or like
FBI
using techniques to get the information that you need?
That's right.
Oh,
so
that's
the
wild.
FBI uses social. Everybody across the board uses social engineering. Some people use it; they don't even know it.
Unintentionally.
That's right, unintentionally. But most of the time, hackers will use it on like phony calls, and they'll say, "Hey, this is so and so in your tech department, and I'm trying to reset your password, but it's not letting me. Can you tell me your old password just to make sure that I'm putting this stuff in right?"
Now,
Next thing you know,
was that
they
the primary thought process behind you writing these, of like making people aware of how people will talk and how people will try, or was it more so you showing them how to effectively use that?
No, so my part is more of explaining how it works and the defense side for businesses and for people.
Okay.
It wasn't more of training people on
Gotcha.
it. We've had so much experience in it because our company works or mainly our company mainly provides cybersecurity now.
Yeah.
And part of that is employee training. A huge part of that's employee training, where we go through with employees and we will do what's called phishing attacks. And they're safe phishing attacks because they're performed by us through the company. The company asks us to do it. And basically in there, what we do is we do phone calls just like that. We build a record of what it would look like if somebody's actually trying to get in.
Gotcha.
And what their success rate was. So we might call and 20 employees will give us their passwords. And we're not even, they shouldn't, you know.
Like you're not even the IT of the.
That's right. That's right. And
that's wild.
they just give it to us, and then they're like, "Oh, I thought Jimmy was our IT guy." Oh, yeah.
What's the age range of that?
That's right. And
like,
next
it's
thing
got to
you know,
be like the age range for people that give away passwords has to be like above 55.
And what's really bad is we had a HR person it was accounting person give us the password.
Oh.
And they use some payroll thing.
Yeah.
That they use the same password for. So it was really
getting everybody's payroll.
Not only that, the payroll application that they used kept all the employees' information live. So you had social security numbers, addresses, everything. It was really devastating when we presented that to the company.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. But it's better for us to do it than somebody
it's
else.
like better a simulated attack rather than a real attack.
That's right.
That's wild. Well, Blake, we have pasta to eat, thanks to my beautiful baby mama.
Yes.
And
thank her for me, please.
Thank you for hanging out. You got another beer to finish before you leave the house. And once again, Haigler Systems.
Haigler Systems, yep. Haigler Systems is our IT company.
Give them the website.
HaiglerSystems.com. HAI. It's got an I in it. GLER.
There it is. Yeah. Any of your IT needs, cybersecurity, all that good stuff, this is your man. Blake, thank you for joining me, bud.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to the Chewsday Special Podcast. Find all of our old episodes at ChewsdaySpecials.com.
That's ChewsdaySpecial.com.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.